Welcome to the Gamers Inn. Come on in, pull up a chair next to the fire. It looks like you've had a long journey. I'm your host, Jocelyn, and unfortunately, Ryan is not joining me tonight. The entire Gamers Inn community, please join me in welcoming Miss Abigail Marie Murphy, who was born yesterday. So filling in for Ryan as he spends some time with his wonderful new daughter and his wife is my friend of the show, longtime supporter, Josh Cook, also known as the JDC on Twitter. Josh, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Hello, thank you for having me.
I feel like it's been forever since we've actually hung out and talked, so I'm so glad that you were able to come on tonight. We have a lot of Gamescom stuff to unpack.
I was trying to think. I was like, what are you talking about? I felt like I was like, oh, nope, that was with Ryan. Yep.
Yeah, I think you filled in for me on here about a month ago, but yeah, no, I was obviously filling in for me. I wasn't there, so it's been quite a while since we sat down and chatted games. There? I'm pretty sure.
It's just voices in my head. I don't know.
So I am looking forward to talking about a lot of stuff from Gamescom. There was not quite as many announcements as E3. Our E3 coverage was extensive, but we did get some cool announcements, some cool little bits and pieces here and there for some stuff, so I'm excited. We should probably just jump right into it.
Yes.
Starting off with, I think, Jurassic World. So this was announced at Gamescom. It's Jurassic World, I believe Evolution is the name of the title, and it is from the makers of Planet Coaster. So Josh, did you play any Planet Coaster?
I played the original Sim Coaster, I think it was.
Yep.
Way back in the day, but I hadn't played Planet Coaster yet.
So Planet Coaster came out either late last year or early this year. And oh my God, dude, it's so much fun. It's because I did the same thing. I used to play Roller Coaster Tycoon and Sim Coaster as well. And oh my God, dude, this is so good. Planet Coaster is the natural evolution. It's super easy to use. I really enjoyed it. I sunk a lot of time into it. The fact that you're now going to be able to crossbreed your own dinosaurs to put in your dinosaur amusement park, yes, please. Although I was a little bit surprised that it's not an expansion pack for Planet Coaster. It's its own standalone game.
I don't think it'd make any sense if it was an expansion pack. It's got to be its own standalone.
Yeah,
I don't want to buy Planet Coaster if I want to breed dinosaurs. Come on, I like this move. We're good. We're solid.
All right.
I was completely blown away because I had no idea this was coming up. I've been kind of out in touch of games for about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at it.
You've had a lot going on.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? Okay, we got a Jurassic Park game. All right. Well, the human characters look kind of crappy. I mean, what is this, like a game on my iPhone or something? And then it zoomed out and, the guy built that building up and I was like, oh, you could build your own park. Oh.
Right?
Okay. Oh, I was so excited at that point. I was like, okay, yep. I'm going to put this one down on my list. This one I think I'm going to pick up.
Yeah, and so it's coming in 2018, right around the time there is another Jurassic Park movie coming out. So this Jurassic World Evolution Build Your Own Park game is going to come around the same time as the release date for the next movie. So we're really getting hyped over the whole Jurassic thing. Because I don't know about you, Josh, but I really liked Jurassic World. I know a lot of people thought it was stupid and cheesy and, Chris Pratt with his raptor thing and, but...
Hey, don't hate on Chris Pratt.
I am not. The internet was. I love Jurassic World, but I'm just a sucker for that kind of cheese.
I've always been a fan of all the Jurassic Park movies. I know a lot of people are like, oh, they kind of got bad as they want. I was like, yeah, but I mean, when you look at the premise, can you really expect a whole lot from these movies?
They made dinosaurs from mosquitoes, so I think there's a little bit of room for imagination there.
Yeah. It's they didn't go out of their way in this movie to go, all right, we're going to win movie of the year. It's no, we're having fun with dinosaurs. Come on.
Which is exactly what this game looks like. So like I mentioned, there are a lot of, I think, background mechanics, which is why it's probably not an expansion to Planet Coaster. It's its own game because it seems like they've really leaned into the whole create your own dinosaur idea. So you're going to build your park, which is, very similar to Planet Coaster. But then on top of that, you can, evolve your own dinosaurs. Like I mentioned, the whole crossbreeding thing. So there's a whole research simulation going on as well. And it seems like there's a whole lot going on that is very Jurassic Park-esque. There's like, I'm trying to remember now because there was the crossbreeding the dinosaurs, the building the park, and there was one other thing. There was like three major systems in the game, and I'm totally blanking on it now. But it seems a little bit more in depth than previously Planet Coaster was. So I'm excited for this. Like I said, 2018. We don't have an actual like date, but it's sometime in the summer. So. Let's see. Oh yeah, attractions. Okay. Bioengineering new dinosaur breeds, constructing attractions, containment, and research facilities. So containment. Yeah.
Like that ever works.
Well, I mean, clearly it doesn't because the trailer for this thing starts off with the T-Rex escaping and the dude's getting eaten. I was like, you didn't think that through at all. What is this game?
I thought the guy hanging was just going to be lunch until his buddy was like, "No, look over here," and I was like, "Oh, what a pal."
I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. They're he's going to distract him and then get away. Oh no, he's not getting away. Okay, this went dark.
Imagine if that happens in real life. Oh, you got to hire new employees. What happened? Well, he just kind of got eaten.
Yeah, T-Rex attack.
The worst game mechanic ever. Oh.
Speaking of, well, actually, I hope they're not attacking pets, but we do have some some more crossbreeding and containment that's going to be required in The Sims 4. We are getting cats and dogs coming this November. So I've totally fallen off of Sims 4. I've been so hard on the franchise because Sims 3 was like my favorite game ever. I loved it. They did such a good job. Like World Adventures, man, so good. And then Sims 4 just felt like this like dumbed down empty world that didn't have half of the features of Sims 3. So now they're finally coming out with cats and dogs, so you're going to get pets. Have you played much Sims 4? Am I just like totally off the mark? Have they added more content to the game and I should come back?
Well, you may have hated Sims 4, but I love it. I gave it a chance in the beginning. I know it was a little rough at launch because, like you said, it felt a little empty.
It was so bad.
Okay, yes, but I had already bought it, so there was no going back. So I think I waited like a year or so. I don't know. I started looking into the expansions and all the packs, and I was like, okay, I could dig this. So I got most of them by now. I think there's only like 2 packs I don't have.
Yeah, so. I think if I remember correctly, I think I waited about a year and a half as well after launch. And then I think there was like a sale on Steam or something for all the expansions. And so I picked up everything that was available at that time. I just can't remember what the last expansion was that I picked up.
Well, did you get the ones with the jobs where you travel to the workplace?
Yes. Question mark,
Okay.
I think maybe. Unless I'm remembering, because a lot of the what was I going to say? Like expansions and themes kind of continue from iteration to iteration. So a lot of the stuff that's available as expansions, and I can't remember if I had it for Sims 3 because I had all the expansions for 3. So I can't remember if I had it for Sims 3 because I remember going to a job, but I also remember like living in a high-rise building and having a whole city to explore, and you actually like walked through the city. So I'm pretty sure that was 3, not 4. Because 4 is not quite that robust, or at least hadn't been in the past.
I personally did not have a lot of the Sims 3 expansions. I think I had like 4 of them. So for me, it's not a huge leap to go from Sims 4 or Sims 3 to Sims 4.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it was possibly like a nightlife type expansion, like
nightlife was Sims 3.
Oh. Damn. I legit have no idea what I have on Sims 4, but yeah, it was about a year ago anyways, and I haven't come back again because I thought maybe they would have added things with the expansions, and they didn't really seem to, at least not the kind of wider, busier, more robust world that I was kind of looking for. They have great systems if you never want to experience the world outside of the lot that you own. But yeah, like
if I remember right, Sims 3 was a lot more open. This one's more kind of like locked into lots, like you can travel to places between loading screens. Whereas I think Sims 3 you could just kind of fluidly run about the city.
Yeah, you could just walk around.
Yeah. So it's still like that in Sims 4, unfortunately. But with all the packs and everything, I've been getting excited. Then I saw Cats and Dogs being released, and I was like, "Ooh, I'm so excited!"
So
So
is cats and dogs the kind of thing that you're going to get way into? Because you can, again, like I mentioned with the dinosaurs, you could do the whole crossbreeding thing. You have like, it sounds like the personal like Sims, like making your people that creation screen. It sounds like they've gone that in depth, that robust with their creation of cats and dogs.
yep,
So that could be
yep.
pretty cool. But again, like I feel like Sims 4 has just burned me so bad that I just am happier to
Well,
stay with Sims 3.
I think right now the only problem I see with it is its price tag. I
Mm.
think it's either like 30 or 40 bucks for it. And that's
Which is,
it's a little steep for, cool, yeah, we get animals now, but you're adding like one job in animals.
yeah.
So I don't know if I'll get it right away, but I'm super excited for it.
It seems like the kind of thing that's riding that line between what they usually put in as stuff packs, which is like a theme of maybe 100 items that they put into the game. Like I feel like
Yeah,
there was like an outdoor living stuff pack that was a whole bunch of gardening things, and it's just there's no new actual features. It's just strictly new items, new skins for things, stuff like that.
yeah.
And then expansion packs usually have a whole bunch of new items. Excuse me. And it's usually like a whole bunch of new items, new actual game mechanics, new locations to explore. So Cats and Dogs seems like it's kind of riding the line between those two. It's a little bit more than a
Well,
stuff pack, but not quite as big as what I would expect out of a
it's
Sims expansion.
it's probably going to be an expansion pack. Like I'm assuming they're going to put enough into it to qualify it as, an expansion pack. But right now, all the other expansion packs are 20 bucks and a pack stuff is 10 bucks. So to
Yes.
double up on the price of an expansion pack, I mean,
Well, I
they've got to
think
be
that
adding like
the
a ton
expansion
of stuff.
packs, I think expansion packs at release though are generally 40. I want to
Oof.
say even 50. So
Well, that's not worth it.
yeah, exactly. But there are other like once the expansions go on sale and you can get them for $10 or $20, then
So how
absolutely,
about
then
this?
that's
We'll
worth it.
reconvene in 2019
Right
after we've
after,
both picked it up for $10 and we'll check it.
perfect. So another thing, we heard a little bit from Blizzard. They had all kinds of Q&As and stuff. We're not going to go too much into anything, but I did want to ask you your thoughts on Hearthstone's animated short, and I didn't put it in the notes, but Overwatch also got an animated short as well. So I've given my thoughts, at least on the Hearthstone animated short. Man, that song is terrible. But the Hearthstone animated short, we went crazy in depth on the Angry Chicken, so I'm not going to repeat myself too much here. But Josh, what did you think about the animated shorts, and is this something that you want to see more of from Blizzard, or do you think they should just, focus on making games?
I enjoyed it. I did not like the song.
It's so bad, right?
Forward. I hope they do more of these. I just hope, didn't we like what's his name? Derek Duke? Is it the one that just left Blizzard?
Russell Brower?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Hopefully this isn't a sign of what the music is going to be from Blizzard now that he's not there, because I thought it was cute, it looked cool, and then they started singing and I was like, ugh.
I mean, I can get on board with the idea of, the whole kind of Disney-esque thing where you've
Yeah.
got a kind of a setup and then you've got a fun song and then it's telling a story, like the whole musical thing. That's fine. That's awesome. But make it freaking catchy.
Yeah, no,
I can't even sing the chorus. But I know, and obviously people are kind of drawing a lot of parallels between that and Beauty of the Beast because it does invoke a lot of the same sort of like, a lot of the Beauty and the Beast songs take place in the tavern, right? So it's easy to draw that parallel. I can sing like everything for Beauty and the Beast. Like I can't even tell you what the chorus of this Hearthstone song was.
Maybe that's what Blizzard's goal was. They're like, oh man, we don't want to be too much like Beauty and the Beast. What do we do? I got it. Let's make a horrible song, but a really cool trailer. Damn it, Bob, you're a genius.
Oh God, I hope that wasn't what they were going for because it's a terrible strategy. But yeah, so yeah, the song just terrible. But the other animated short that we got out of Blizzard from Overwatch didn't have a song, but holy hell, they were like, oh, there's your heart, stabby stab stab, dagger stab.
Oh,
Like, Man, that was hard to watch.
The May one, right?
The May one, yeah.
Ugh, I felt so bad for her. First, I was like, okay, everyone's all in love with May. I don't get it. Whatever. Yeah, she's cool. Whatever. And then I saw that, and I was like, I think I'm on the May train now.
I think everyone's on the May train. So if you guys didn't watch it, basically what happens to May is she is part of Overwatch. She's stationed in Antarctica. There's a bunch of other people there with her, and then they're running out of supplies, so they have to go into cryostasis. And then she wakes up and everyone's dead. She missed the whole like Overwatch uprising, and then like the explosion at the headquarters and the kind of downfall and the dismantling of Overwatch. She missed all of that because she was in cryostasis for like 10 years.
I feel like the worst part about it though was like her fellow researchers all died in their cryogenesis.
Yes.
Pod. Like she was the only one that didn't. It's
yeah.
Like, oh, but why her?
Exactly.
Why does she have to live on?
And then when she makes them all like hot chocolate, oh my God. It was just like, it was and so sad.
Snowball gave his life for the research.
Although I wasn't as worried about Snowball because I'm like, he's a robot. He's just giving up his battery charge. He'll charge up again later. It's fine.
How can you be so heartless?
But I mean, that part of the short, I was like, oh man, like that's her only companion. Other than that, it's just dead bodies. Like I realize he's a robot and he's gonna come back. Like I wasn't worried that Snowball was never gonna come back. But I was just like, how is this woman not just gone insane? She's all alone in Antarctica with a bunch of dead friends, and now she doesn't even have the robot to talk to.
It's all about the research.
It was brutal, man. That short was brutal. And I mean, the Overwatch team, specifically the Bastion short is the one that I'm thinking of, but they have knocked it out of the park for a long time with their whole extended universe. And so this was another amazing entry into that kind of franchise's storytelling.
Yeah. Even the very first one they did, I still remember watching that at E3, whatever year it was. Like I remember world premiere Blizzard and watching, the boys are in the museum.
Oh,
and the
fight museum one, out. Yeah.
I jumped out of my seat going, "Oh my God, that was so awesome!" So.
Yep, they are really good.
It's great.
Yeah, so I think more animated shorts out of Blizzard they're always really cool, especially for their games. Like I feel like Overwatch and Hearthstone are very similar because they don't have any kind of storytelling within the games themselves. They are,
right.
Hearthstone is a single player card game and Overwatch is a team based, but it's an arena shooter type thing. Like it's not a here's your single player content and your storyline and here's all our lore. So I do like the idea of them telling the story of these universes in these animated shorts. But yeah, that song, man, so bad.
Can't wait to see the Diablo 3 Disney song.
Right?
The necromancer just jumps around singing in the princess castle.
I was totally picturing Diablo doing the can, by the way. But my brain's always gone to weird places. Before we go on to talk too much about the rest of the games that we're excited about from Gamescom this past week, I wanted to take a moment here to thank our new patron, Sarifu. Thank you so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/thegamersin. If you would like to support us, please go there. We give you all kinds of cool extra content. We're working towards some rewards, including more Inside the Game episodes where we dive into the single player story of different games that we've been playing, as well as we are looking at doing inside the game, or not inside the game, shoot, I just forgot what we were going to call it. Anyways, quickfire news. If you guys missed quickfire news, then we are looking at bringing that back in standalone little digestible episodes once a week as well. So if that sounds like something that you are into, then go to patreon.com/thegamersin. We also have a patron ad this week from The Geek Review. The Geek Review is a podcast that reviews everything and anything for an honest consumer review. The Geek Review can be found on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, and at thegeekreview.podbean.com. So thank you everyone for their support over on Patreon. So we're going to continue with our Gamescom coverage. We are talking next about Sea of Thieves. So Josh, I don't know.
Yes.
I was going to say, like, I am so excited to play Pirates with my friends.
Yes.
Like, I want this like now. But they did
Just
announce Sea of Thieves is going to have crossplay between PC and Xbox, which is really cool. Josh,
hmm
where are you going to be playing Sea of Thieves?
To be honest, I've always been a controller kind of person, so for me, it's probably going to be Xbox. I know I can plug my controller into my PC, but I've had this PC for like 6 years now, so
Your Xbox is
starting to
probably
get
going to run the game better.
yeah. And I actually am considering picking up the Xbox X or Scorpio, or whatever the heck they want to call it these days. So, but yeah, no, this game looks so fun. And part of me was like a little sad, like when they did like the reveal during the whole, sit down and talk with these guys. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, those are just clips from the E3 one, which was still awesome, but. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, but we want to aim for 4K, 60 frames per second." I was like, "Oh my god, I could be a pirate in 4K." Oh,
Yes, yes, you could, especially with the Xbox One X, whose pre-orders are live now. They also announced that there are 100 enhanced titles, and I don't know how I didn't know this, but I had to go and look it up. The enhancement of existing Xbox One titles is all free. I assumed that I would have to like buy the enhanced version of the games
what?
I already had. It's free. It's like your favorite games are just
What?
basically going to get patches.
I did not know that.
Very cool, right? So there's a
Yeah,
100
now I'm even
titles.
more excited to pick it up.
So have you tried to pre-order, or is this sort of thing you're
Oh
going to
no,
be
I'm
like,
totally broke right now. I'm
yeah,
not. Yeah, no, we don't say pre-order around this house.
I see.
We just pray it's in stores. See, that's the good thing about living in the middle of nowhere in this country is that like right now there's like 5 Nintendo Switches sitting on the shelves, and I still have friends elsewhere going, I can't find one, and I'm like, really? We got like five over here. Like,
That's so awesome because I know
yeah.
that's now we have also moved to a small town. So I'm hoping that that's something that we're going to get to take advantage of with both the Super Nintendo Classic and also
Oh
possibly
yeah. Good
potentially the
luck on
Xbox
that.
One. Yeah. But the Xbox One
Okay.
X, any pre-orders that have gone up have gone down very quickly. They have sold out very, very, very fast. But
What?
it
Nintendo items sold out fast?
no, not
What?
Nintendo items. Xbox One, the
Oh, I thought
Xbox
you were
One
still
X
talking about
pre-orders.
the Super Nintendo things. I was
Well,
like,
yeah,
what?
those things are up and down in minutes. But the Xbox One X pre-orders have also gone that same way, where they haven't had a whole lot available. So I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be upgrading to the Xbox One X. I like my Xbox One. I think it's fine. We don't have a 4K TV, so it's like we'd have to get a 4K TV and the Xbox One X to take full advantage of the system. If you don't have a 4K TV, then there isn't a whole lot the Xbox One X is going to do that the Xbox One won't. So it's a big investment.
It is. But I plan on getting a 4K TV probably before the end of September. So for me, it's like, well, if I have the TV, I might as well get the Xbox.
That makes a little bit more sense because I know like there isn't a whole lot of 4K content. It's definitely going that way, and 4K TVs are
Yeah.
also a lot cheaper than I thought that they were. I looked
Oh,
it up
yeah.
this afternoon because these pre-orders have gone live, and I was kind of curious what kind of an investment we would be looking at. And for like a 43-inch 4K TV, it was like $800 Canadian,
What?
which is
I got a
ridiculous, right?
60-inch 4K TV for $800 that I'm looking to pick up.
Okay, well,
This is 43 inches. Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying that you can
I'm not
I
comparing
thought they
sizes,
were
but I
thousands of
mean,
I thought 4K TVs were still thousands and thousands of dollars unless you
yes,
got
I
an
will give you
off-brand
that.
kind of thing. But my point was you can get a smaller size for under $1,000 and still take advantage of the 4K technology, which I think is really cool because it took like 1080p TVs. It took them a long time to come down in price. So I mean, I guess 4K has been available commercially for a couple of years now, but still,
Yeah, but
there was
yeah,
no
I think,
content for them, so there was
yeah,
no kind of drive to go buy them. So I feel like there had been 1080p content for a very long time before most households actually made the jump to 1080p televisions because they were so
yeah.
expensive. So I
They
feel
were
like
they were expensive for a much longer time than 4K was.
exactly. So so yeah, I mean, 4K does seem to be like the next big thing in terms of kind of visual television, everything else, and people are starting to make the actual content outside of just video games, but like
Right.
movies and TV are starting to be available in 4K as
Yep.
well. So I think a 4K would be a good investment. So if you're looking at making that investment outside of the Xbox One X, then, that makes a lot of sense then to get the console to go along with your TV. But if you don't need the 4K TV for anything other than the Xbox One, that's kind of a different situation.
Yeah.
Like we don't watch a whole lot of TV. We play a lot of video games. So we'd be looking at, like $1,500. The Xbox One X itself is expensive for a console. You've got
Yes.
the PlayStation 4 Plus is, I think, $100 cheaper than the Xbox One X. So it's going to be a hard sell, I think, because the PS4 Pro does the same thing, right? Does the up-resing, does all that kind of stuff. Although the Xbox One X
Does it?
is more powerful.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember there was something that put the Xbox over the PS4. I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, so well the PS4, yeah, we'll do the 4K thing, we'll do all of that. It does the VR, everything. It just the Xbox One X is just more powerful, so it's more like future proof, I guess, for lack of a better
Right.
term. But
Yeah, you do have to consider, like, if you are getting an Xbox One, just consider it's only worth it if you're also getting a TV. So
exactly.
you're not looking at buying a $600-700 system. You're probably looking at putting,
At least $1,000
more than
probably.
$1,000
Yeah.
into this. So,
Yeah. So I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence.
but 4K pirates.
Yes.
Imagine
4K
shooting me out of a cannon at 4K. Go get him, Josh. Yes, aye, Captain.
Well, when you put it that way, that's totally worth 1,500 Canadian dollars.
And I heard on Sea of Thieves they added throwing up in a bucket and throwing that bucket at your enemies. Like, who wouldn't want that at 4K, right?
I definitely want to throw vomit at my enemies. I bet you can see all the individual chunks. That's epic.
Well, it depends on what you eat, I guess. There's not much to eat on a ship.
That's true. It's
Oranges?
probably just rum. Ew, I'm grossing myself out at this point.
It's right here.
So you've got State of Decay 2 in here. Is that something you're really excited about? Is that an Xbox
Yes.
One exclusive?
I don't think so. I don't remember, to be honest. I think they did show it on Xbox. I didn't play State of Decay 1. I heard a lot of good things about it. But just looking at the presentation and everything they were doing for State of Decay 2, looked like definitely a fun game to play with a bunch of friends. Like, it's just straight up, you're building your own little base, surviving with your friends, going out looking for materials and stuff. Like, it just feels so zombie survival that I was like, oh, yes.
But like
gonna be-
more realistic kind of zombie survival, right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
Fortnite just came
It's
out
not like
and
Left 4 Dead where it's like a frantic, oh my god, we just need to get through this level. It's more like you're settling down. I think I'm not speaking as if I've played this before. From what it looks like it's more like you're creating a home amongst all this chaos. So
that's pretty cool. And especially I like the idea of co-op stuff. I like playing with friends. I know zombies are not generally my thing, but I do like playing games with friends. So if this is the kind of thing, like I'm sure Ryan's going to pick this up because he just freaking loves
yeah.
zombies. So
yeah,
if you're going to be in there and Ryan's going to be in there, then yeah, State of Decay 2 might actually be something that's going to be on my radar, which is kind of crazy because yeah, zombie stuff, not really usually my thing, but could be super cool. Something that is my thing, though, is just generally strategy games. And we had a huge announcement that not only are they bringing remasters of Age of Empires 2 and 3, but they're also coming out with a whole new game, Age of Empires 4. So I'm a huge fan of Civ, and this reminds me of Civ. I played, I think, Age of Empires 3, but it didn't get so crazy into it. But it has the same like historical kind of feeling of Civilizations. Obviously one is turn-based and one is real time, but
yeah.
I really like the just historical, like playing and building civilizations that actually existed. I think that's super freaking cool. Not that there's anything wrong with StarCraft, but
I will say that's pretty much the only thing that you could relate to Civilization Age of Empires. Because I
Yes.
love Age of Empires 2. Like, I've played 1, 2, and 3. you're looking at more of a StarCraft that's dressed like a civilization, where,
Yes.
it's like the historical thing. So if you're looking for a civilization type of game, this isn't it.
Oh no,
But
like they're two
yeah, yeah,
totally different. I'm just saying, like, I get the same like happy feelings from Age of Empires as I do from
right,
Civilizations because they have those ties to historical civilizations. Not that they
right.
have any of the same mechanics, but I get the same like happy theme feelings from the two of these games.
Well, I will say you played the worst of the two.
Oh, really?
Probably the worst of the three. Three was horrible. I hated three. I have it on my shelf. I think it's been collecting dust for a decade now. But I just played two like a couple weeks ago. Like,
Really?
oh yeah, Age of Empires 2 still has a strong following. I think there's still an esport too. Like
Really?
the winners are
Wow.
only getting like a couple $1,000s, but it's still more than what one or three is doing.
Yeah. Huh, that's
But
really cool.
that's why I'm kind of skeptical about four. Like it's cool, awesome Age of Empires. I grew up on it. I love two. It was like the game of my childhood, but three just sucked so bad. I was like,
Well, maybe like
"You
every
really
other
need
one is
four?"
good. Like two
Like,
is good and four is going to be good, but three was terrible and no one's ever going to talk about it again.
yeah, it's like, do we need four? Like, I mean, just give me two remastered. I'm fine with it.
It probably depends how much Age of Empires actually listens to their community, because I'm sure that if there are still people who are playing Age of Empires 2, then the developers got to be looking at that and going, why is this
Yeah.
happening? Why aren't they playing the newer one? And hopefully they learn from their mistakes and are going to give you something good in Age of Empires 4, because the trailer, although it was pretty, it was not, there was
Showed
no
nothing.
gameplay. It didn't
Yeah,
show us
it showed
anything.
absolutely nothing.
It was just like, do you like ancient civilizations? Do you want to be the Romans? Do you want to discover the
I'll
First
be honest,
Nations
it
people?
felt like they pulled a PowerPoint out of my world history class. Like it
Right?
was, look at this slide of ancient Egypt. Oh, and what's this? The American Revolution? Or did we go back to the Stone Age? And I'm like, okay, now where do we see some gameplay now? How about we show some gameplay?
There was
Nope.
nothing at
No.
all. So we'll have to see as more information. Again, this was just a like launch teaser trailer. Well, I'm sure we'll get more information in the months to come. But yeah, I'm excited about that one. So one thing that I got, did I put this in there or did you put this in there? But one way or the other, Star Citizen's face tracking, dude, this is freaking cool. They've solved the lip sync facial animation problem. Just do it yourself.
I'm trying to think, is Star Citizen even out?
It is
Like,
not. I was talking to
they're
Matt
still
about this.
doing that thing where you have to like buy into it, right?
I was totally confused. This was a Kickstarter that raised over 150 million.
Million,
No,
yes.
million,
Million.
yes.
Yep.
Like 4 years ago, maybe longer.
More than that. Yep,
And it's
longer than that.
it's not out yet.
But they keep adding stuff to it, and apparently people still think it's amazing. So
So as far as I know, the Kickstarter, if you back the Kickstarter, you have access to the alpha, and they
Yeah.
are in like, or I guess 3.0, the 3.0 build of the alpha is coming. So people who have already paid for the game do have access to the game. It's just not finished yet. But they have been very good. They've been giving updates like weekly. I think it's like every Thursday or something. They give updates on what's going on in the game. And then they drop bombs like this where they're just like, oh yeah, you're going to be able to like interact with other people using your own face with this super amazing webcam we developed that like can do in near dark rooms, can track your movements at 60 frames per second. Like you're not even your big movements, like your little like facial like nose twitches.
right,
At
if I
60
get a
frames per
sneeze stuck in
second.
my face, everyone's gonna know it because my character's gonna be like,
Exactly. It's like, it
"What
was
is
so
Commander
cool.
Cook doing over there?"
Oh my
Sorry,
god.
everybody.
But yeah.
Lasers.
So yeah, they have this whole face tracking thing, and I got Star Citizen confused with Elite Dangerous because that one is out, and that one my boyfriend Matt does play, and he's got the whole setup. Like he has a face tracking thing, so like when he looks, the screen will move, which they also showed off for Star
What?
Citizen, and he's got like the whole like flight joystick thing, and He's really, really into this. So that's what I thought this game was. And then he's like, no, it's this other game. I was like, oh, there's too many space games right now.
How dare you confuse the two?
Yeah. But yeah, so they showed that they will do face tracking like that, in that they can track your eyes, and the view of like your cockpit will move. But then, like I said, they also have the points on your face, so that you are essentially like doing the lip animations for your character. And the video was so impressive. Like, and they were talking about how it's still very, very early. They've just kind of adopted this technology. It's in its first iteration, and there's still a lot of different things that they have to do in order to get this actually working to the level they want it to work. And as I'm watching the facial animations in this like super early alpha test footage, I'm like, this looks better than 90% of the video games that try to do facial animations for their like non-cinematics and non like main characters. Any of the side characters that say a whole sentence and then their mouth opens like once. Yeah, it's like, this is just like, holy crap, it was so intensely good.
It's funny, like, the way you say it's like someone makes a delicious cake, you try it, and you're like, wow, this is really good. And they're like, yeah, but, I'm sorry the frosting was... You're like, no, this is good. Like, why are you apologizing?
Just leave it.
Like,
just do it.
Yeah,
like,
you know what? I'm going to make it better. I don't know how you make this better, but have fun.
I mean, there were a couple of points where... like it almost seemed like the skin on the character's nose was moving, but the like underlying bone structure wasn't. And, like there were a couple of little rough moments, but just like the animation of the mouth and the eyes specifically, like even if they just did that and left all the rest of the facial animation to, whatever the in-game stuff was, but just did like even just the lip syncing, like I said, way better than 90% of the video games you play these days, because it was so spot on. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Star Citizen... I mean, I'm probably not going to play it, but I know, like, Matt backed the Kickstarter, so it will be in the house, and I'm looking forward to kind of watching it and seeing how they actually bring it into the game.
It's going to show two heads, because it'll show you looking over his shoulder, and then him there.
We'll be like a two-headed ogre. It'll be awesome. But they also said you can do like voice calls with your friends and stuff, and like they'll see your avatar talking to them, and like that. It's it's just so cool. So cool.
Man, a little creepy, but still cool.
Well, and that's kind of the thing, right? Like, does this have much of a creep factor, or is this just super freaking cool technology? I think it's super freaking cool, but then you mentioned the creep factor, and I'm like, yeah,
only
maybe.
Time will tell.
Yeah, it's definitely capturing a lot of information that, I mean, I don't really know how that could potentially be bad, but at the same time, you have your webcam on the whole entire time that you're playing a game. There's a level of like lack of privacy that could potentially be creepy. I mean, that being said,
it's
like
pretty much up to the user. Like, it's not required. So
that's true.
If you want to do it, I'm pretty sure you're gonna make your setup in your room how you want it, so people aren't like, "Ooh, wow, I see your address over there," and you're like, "No."
Yeah.
Set up a green screen and put a backspace of a chip or something.
Well, and even then, I mean, I know people originally were freaking out when the Kinect was always on in their living room and stuff like that. I mean, we have the camera for the PlayStation, we have the Kinect for the Xbox. I am sure that both Microsoft and Sony have seen my naked ass so many times.
And don't forget your cell phones too.
Oh yeah, my cell phone too. Yeah, Google's always listening. So at this point, I'm just like, I kind of accept that all of these companies just own me. Like everything that I am has been recorded 18,000 times over, so it is what it is.
If you like what you see, shoot a compliment. If you don't, turn it off. Whatever. Yeah. That's how I look at it.
So yeah, this is kind of I feel like maybe 10 years ago Jocelyn would have found this to be really creepy, but like current day Jocelyn is just like meh.
Yeah, after like
being tracked.
After reading Ready Player One and then hearing about this, is like, oh my god, we're so close to Ready Player One.
We
it's so
are.
Cool. But then you think how horrible the real world was, and I'm like, it doesn't matter.
As long as we can make our own oasis, it's all gonna be fine.
Right? Hashtag worth.
Oh man. So we also saw some more trailers for Shadow of War. So I'm
Yep.
I'm excited about this one. It looks really cool. And this one showed off Gollum.
Yeah. And like I finally looked at some gameplay and it
Hmm.
looked exactly like the first one, and I'm like, I'm fine with this.
Yeah, I
I'm
really liked the
A-okay with
first one.
this.
But they seem to have expanded on a lot of their systems, particularly the whole Nemesis thing. Got a whole new rework and updated and was made more complex and everything else. So I think Shadow of War is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's coming fairly soon, right? Their release date is in November, I believe.
It is. Wait, I wrote all this down. I studied, I
Oh,
promise. Shadow of War. I think it's October.
oh, it's October. Jeez.
Yeah, because they have the Xbox One S bundle that goes with it too.
Oh, nice. Right,
So
because there was
October.
yeah, there's two different Xbox One S bundles that are coming out, and this is another thing that I feel like is going to eat into the Xbox One X. Also, screw you guys for naming them the X and the S. Like you couldn't have made them sound any more alike.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
Exactly. But yeah, there were a couple of bundles that were announced for the Xbox One X,
Yep.
Xbox One S. So
What's even worse is the Xbox S is not the Project Scorpio one
right.
with the S. The Project Scorpio one is
It's
the
the
X.
one with the X, yes. So they're just screwing with us at this point. We're being trolled by Microsoft. It's confirmed. But
It's working.
yeah, so there are bundles for the S as well. So that's I think going to make the Xbox One X an even harder sell, right? Because you've got your upgraded version, like the new, I guess, base version, because they're no longer selling the Xbox One. So
Right.
the Xbox One S is the new base version, and that's
Right.
going to come with games. So I don't know. I think that the high end one is going to be a hard sell. That's going to be a very small, very
Well,
niche audience, I think.
I think, like we said, it's pretty much if you're ready for 4K gaming.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not ready for 4K gaming, Xbox One S, as in Steve. If you want 4K gaming, it's Xbox X, as in xylophone.
I was like, what is he going to use for X? As in X-ray?
I was going to use Xbox, so it's X as in Xbox. Oh, the Xbox X as in Xbox. Exactly.
Oh, God. This is going to get so confusing. We also had some stuff come out of Nintendo. I
Yep.
know there was for Rocket League. Rocket League is coming to the Switch, and they're going to have Mario, Luigi, and Samus, I think, cars, which is going to be kind of cool. Although I still kind of wish that you could get all of the cars on all of the platforms. I think, obviously they've got to have a
Yeah,
reason
but then
to push
we
it.
wouldn't buy it
Yeah,
for
then
every
you wouldn't
platform we have.
exactly. No, I totally understand from a marketing perspective. I just really want like the Mario and Luigi cars, but I don't want to buy it on the Switch. I just want to play on my PC. So
Sacrifices have to be made.
I know. And then also Fire Emblem Warriors.
Yeah, I was looking at this trailer and like I've never played Fire Emblem. I'm pretty sure it's a great one. I know Ryan loves it. I do like the Warriors series, like Dynasty Warriors.
Right.
But I was
I
watching
played
this trailer.
Hyrule Warriors, which was a lot of fun.
Yes. But I wanted to enjoy the trailer, but it just felt like a trailer of a bunch of one-liners from the characters. Like when you think of trailers, it's like this very broad story arc, like, oh, I'm just a guy, but oh, this fell on my house, and now I have to venture off to the mountain to save the queen. Like there's a story arc in the
Yeah.
trailer. This one was just every random character going, so you're ready to fight. I'll show you what I can do. Okay, I've got my horse. Let's do this. They're at the gates. We can defend them. Like, it was just so much random one-lineness. I was like, is this like a 1980s Schwarzenegger movie? What's going on here? Like,
Yeah, there definitely was not a story arc told in the trailer.
No.
But I mean,
it looks
there
cool.
also isn't in the Warriors game. I don't know about Dynasty Warriors, but Hyrule Warriors definitely they don't have very big, long, complicated plots.
No.
It's like
I
here's
love
the bad
Dynasty
guy.
Warriors.
Now we're moving to another place, and the bad guy's still there, and then we're moving to another place where there's also bad guys. Kill as many as you can. Wahaha.
Yeah,
Like,
there was a
they're not
story in
complicated.
Dynasty Warriors, but I mean, the fact they use generally the same story in every iteration of Dynasty Warriors is like, okay, this isn't about the story, it's about the How high can my kill counter get? What?
Exactly. It's about those super satisfying, like kill 50 enemies at once, big, huge ultimate moves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they showed off some of those, and they looked kind of cool.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I liked Hyrule Warriors, but I'm a huge Zelda fan, so I think that was my version of the Warriors games. That was my skin. But do you think you're gonna pick up Fire Emblem Warriors?
I would probably pick up Hyrule Warriors first. Is that on the Switch? It's not on the Switch, is it?
Wii U.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Well,
But
it looks like
you
I'll
never
be getting
know.
Fire Emblem Warriors.
I was gonna say you never know. They might port it, but as of right now, it's not available on the Switch.
Yeah, I would probably
Unfortunately.
get Fire Emblem Warriors. But see, we jump from simplistic kill as many as you can to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I'm very conflicted about this game.
Really? Because this
Because
is one. I mean, I haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles, although everyone tells me that I have to, and I've played the first like literally 20 minutes.
I haven't played it.
But the trailers for this game look so cool. Like
And that's
I
the
started
thing.
playing the first one because the second one looks amazing.
Like, it looks beautiful. And they're showing off some of the gameplay. Still looks, it's like very fluid going into fights to coming out. Like, there's no cut screens, there's no nothing. It's just, oh, there's a guy, kill it, back in the game. But the actual button thing, like, the guy's talking about it. I don't know how complicated Xenoblade Chronicles 1 was, but he was like, oh, it's so much easier. If you do this one 3 times, you get to choose from these 3, but then it chooses into these 3, so you have 9, but there's 3 different types of the 9, so it's like 27, but it's all punched down to like 4 buttons. I'm like, what? What did you just say? So I'm pretty sure it's not as complicated as the guy kind of made it seem like, or that I kind of interpreted as. Like, I think once I play it, I go, oh, okay, 27.
Yeah, now that makes sense.
Yeah. But looking at it as somebody who's never played, I'm like, okay, this guy just said 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. There's a lot of math. Looks cool, though. Sure.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, though.
It does. And it looks like it could have a super cool story. And even if it doesn't have a super cool story, I'm kind of okay with it because the visuals are so stunning. So
Yes.
as long as the kind of combat isn't too complicated that it's just, prohibitive to me actually getting into the story, then I think I'm really going to enjoy this game. But
Yeah.
so Josh, since you've been studying, when does Xenoblade Chronicles 2 come out?
Wait. This is on page 2 of the notes. Don't have a date for that. I don't have dates for most of the Nintendo stuff because I don't think they really threw it out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I feel like I rarely do know when things are coming out on Nintendo. They're just like,
I know Xbox,
later. Soon
Xbox
TM.
is like October, November, or never.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, either imminent or, probably just won't. But
yeah. I forget which game it was. They were like, oh, can you tell us when it's coming out? And he's like, no.
but it probably will. Just bear with us.
He's like, sometime 20-something,
20-something-ish.
It was either that or like, get the bundle on October 3rd, midnight, 12:01, local GameStop at this. Like, it was either exact or 28?
Shrug. Yeah. Well, speaking of Shrug, we don't know when it's coming, but PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is getting a new map. They showed off the image at Gamescom, and holy hell, I don't know how much of this you've been playing, Josh, but I've been playing the crap out of this game. I love it. It's so much fun with friends, and the new map is basically this like urban wasteland. So it's got these apartment buildings that look like they're like 8 or 10 stories high, and there's just the whole map looks like it's just this crazy city. So it's going to be so much fun and so intense because you're going to be able to like shoot people at like neighboring buildings and like, oh man, just I feel like my shotgun game is gonna come in so handy in this map because I can clear a room like nobody's business. I suck over long distances, but man, I can clear a building like I should have been a cop.
This is what you've been training for.
Exactly.
Did you see the gameplay for the Xbox version of it?
I did not.
Oh, they got it coming out on the Xbox One X. It's so beautiful.
I did
Like,
hear that because they did say that basically Microsoft was going to be publishing it, so it was going to be available on the Xbox, but that the original developer Bluehole was going to retain all creative control. So
yes,
it
yep.
seems like Microsoft is just kind of realizing how insanely popular this game is and wanting to jump on the bandwagon. So they're like, hey, how about we throw our Microsoft dollars behind you and we can get this out on the Xbox real fast? Awesome.
That was,
Okay.
by the way, that was the game where the guy was like, I can't tell you when it's going out. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, now that I remember it, that was the guy who was like, oh my goodness, when it's coming out. And he's like,
Mm.
um, I can't tell you yet.
Yeah,
But
but the game is insanely popular and super fun, and they have one
yeah,
map. So, I mean, adding a whole new map to that game, it basically doubles the size of the content, right? So, whenever it comes, I'm excited for it because, I mean, I can play this game for hours. It has this like crazy intensity to it that I just love. It makes me jump out of my socks all the time though, because I'm like, super intense, super quiet, hiding, hiding, hiding. Oh my God, someone's shooting me. It scares the crap out of me every time. And something else that scared the crap out of me so often, but was so good, was Until Dawn. I totally missed this. When did
yeah,
this announcement happen?
I wasn't sure if it came out during Gamescom or just right after it. I couldn't quite find how it came out. But I saw the news on it alongside a Gamescom article, and I was like, I'm not 100% sure, but we need to throw this anywhere because I know she absolutely loved Until Dawn.
I did.
Um,
It was a
but yeah, they
horror
have one
game, like
called
a full-length horror game that I played all the way through start to finish, which
Yep.
I didn't think I was going to because there were some jump scares in that game that I was like, oh my God, panicking. But the story was phenomenal.
Yeah, we were there with you the whole way.
I know, I streamed the whole thing and like walking through that like abandoned mental facility. Holy crap.
Well, now that you mentioned mental facility, this one actually takes place in one that is operational.
An
You're
operational one?
Yeah, you're in a sanatorium. You play a character
Oh.
who has amnesia, and you're
Wow.
trying to remember things, and it's like it's got that whole, horror experience with it. And of course, a creepy doctor,
Of
kind of like
course.
your creepy psychologist. But I was like, "Oh man." They say it's a standalone, so you don't need to play the original Until Dawn to
Okay.
understand this one.
So,
So
does
if
it
you
have like one of the Until Dawn characters, or is it just a whole nother story?
I don't know that much. I just know the developer said you don't need to play Until Dawn to fully experience and enjoy this one.
Is it going to be full length the way the first game was, or is this like a little add on type chunk of content?
Pretty sure it's full length.
Oh my God, that makes me so happy. I love everything about this.
Yes. I
That
just had to
that
throw it
game
in.
was so good. That was oh man, it was amazing. I freaking
See,
loved that
I
game.
couldn't play it because I watched you play it,
Yeah.
but I don't hate that. It was a very good experience just watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh my God, it's like so intense. And even though I'm not the one making the decisions, it's still kind of got that cool, like you can watch it and still enjoy it for what it was.
Right.
So,
And I feel like there were some story beats in Until Dawn that if they were spoiled, I guess would be the best term. Like if you knew ahead of time what the story was, then I can
yes.
see how like it's not really necessarily replayable because again
Yes.
like where all the jump scares are, what the twists and turns are, and that was I think the majority of the experience was those kind of twists and turns and jump scares. So once you know all of that, then it becomes less. But I could see myself going back to even the original Until Dawn maybe a year or two from now where I've kind of like forgotten all the stuff that happens. Like I still know the big main story arc, but all the little story beats, like for instance, I don't think I remember. Like I feel like I was just traumatized by that abandoned hospital. So I don't think I actually remember a lot of the stuff that happened in there because most of it I was like controlling with one hand and covering my eyes with the other. But
It's gonna come rushing to you when you try to replay it.
that's
Just
yeah,
all
that's
the
true.
emotions.
But oh man, I'm so looking forward to this. I don't even care when it comes out. I'm gonna get it like day one because Until Dawn was just so good. So yeah, if you guys haven't played Until Dawn, please do go do it because it's amazing.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention it's virtual reality too.
Oh my God. Okay,
Yeah.
no, I'm off. I'm out. No,
Sorry
forget
about
it.
that.
No.
Yeah, it's
Only
VR
if it's
coming out
available
November
not in
23rd.
VR, then I would play it. But if it's only available in VR, no, forget it.
Yeah, they said they're making it like super immersive too.
Oh, I don't
Which
want
is
to do that. I don't want to. Oh God, that would be so bad. It was
yeah.
immersive enough when I was 10 feet away from it on my couch. I don't need it right up in my face hole. No,
Yeah,
no.
there was two VR games I was looking at. That one and another one called Blind, where you
Hmm.
play as a blind character and like you use your hands when you touch stuff, it kind of highlights the item. Otherwise, it's just darkness in front of you.
Okay, there was
Like
another one. I
eventually,
think it was called Perception that came out within the last couple of months. That was an indie title that sounds similar. That
yeah,
basically your character saw by making sounds, and then it could like almost like Daredevil, like could see the sound waves bouncing
yeah,
back.
echolocation or
Echo,
something like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
and then but the more sound you made, the more like enemies you would like draw to you. So you were most of the time walking around in the dark, like pitch black, like oh yeah, and then you would like send out a sound wave, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, there's a monster in front of you. Like
I
no,
don't think there's
no, thank
monsters
you.
in this one. I think it's mostly just a puzzle game.
Mm.
So
that's
I think
a
we're
little bit
monster
better.
free.
Because yeah, I looked at Perception. I was like, this looks like just something right up my alley. This could be so cool. And then I was like, oh no, this is going to terrify me. I can't actually play this.
Well, good news. This is the one for you.
Excellent. Except VR. I don't want VR. So any final thoughts on Gamescom before we wrap this episode up?
No, I enjoyed it. There was a lot of reviewing off what was shown at E3, but a lot of good things as well. So
Yeah, I
super
think.
looking forward to 4K gaming and a lot of good co-op stuff too.
Yeah, there wasn't too much that was like totally 100% brand new announced at Gamescom, but there was definitely a lot more information on some of the stuff we heard from E3. So if you guys are interested, then make sure you go and check out some of the coverage from Gamescom because there is a lot of new information about stuff we were shown at E3. So if there's anything that you are particularly interested in, then make sure you're keeping up to date on the websites and stuff because we did get a lot of updates out of Gamescom. I think that's going to do it for us this week. Before we go, have a patron ad from Simon for Weekly News Desk. It's a podcast all about the geek news this week. You can join your two Knucklehead hosts, Andrew and Simon, as they keep you informed on movies, TV, video games, and books. You can find them on iTunes or at weeklynews.com. So, Josh, thank you so much for joining me this week and filling in for Ryan. Where can folks find you on the internet?
Probably just Twitter, _JDC. That's about it.
When you do, because I know you were mentioning that you were going to start podcasting and stuff again. So what's the best place once you start that? Are you just going to be tweeting it all out?
Yeah, I'll probably tweet that out once I'm able to do. I don't have a timeline quite yet, but hopefully before October.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to it because I used to love Aniki Gaming. So as soon as you bring it back, I will be your #1 fan.
Well, thank you.
Thanks again for joining me this week. I know Ryan appreciates you filling in as well. So hopefully we'll have you back with, both me and Ryan at some point soon.
One day it'll happen.
One day. In the meantime, you can visit us on the web at gamersinpodcast.com. You can also find us on AMove TV along with other fabulous podcasts, including The Angry Nerd, Into the Nexus, The Angry Chicken, For Azeroth, Embrace the Spoilers, and Heroes Forge. You can also follow us on Twitter. You can find me, Jocelyn, at Joss Plays. Ryan is at R. Murphy. And don't forget to follow the show at The Gamers Inn. The video versions of all our episodes can be found on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/amovetv. If you'd like to email the show and let us know what you were most excited about from Gamescom, please do so at info@gamersinpodcast.com. Thanks for staying at The Gamers Inn. Remember, tune in next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.